I've always wanted to go beyond the black stump, and it looks like I've finally got my chance. I'm at Camden on Sydney's outskirts, and, well, I don't know if this is the actual one, but I do know that beyond it is a quintessentially Australian garden. G'day there, Tony.
Oh, hello, Angus.
Great to meet you finally.
Yeah, pleased to meet you.
Yeah. For the last 25 years, Tony Sexton has filled this half-hectare block with more than 700 native plants, which is quite an achievement because he also spent most of that time working down in the coal mines of Wollongong and the Burragarang Valley. So it'd be quite a difference coming from out of a coal mine and up into this beautiful bird-filled garden, I'd imagine.
Well, it was, yeah, a nice antidote, really. And, of course, working underground most of the daylight hours, you tend to look a little bit pale. And, yeah, it's nice to get out and get a bit of sun. It was lovely, yeah, nice change.
Well, let's start in the front yard. You've obviously got a thing for grevilleas.
I have, Angus, yeah, I love grevilleas. A lot of them will flower year-round. They come in lots of different forms and foliage. Very good plant to have.
So how about a look at the backyard?
Sure, let's go. There's heaps to see around here, Angus.
Now, I noticed the grevilleas down the back of the garden here are really thriving. What's the secret?
Well, that hasn't always been the case, Angus. It's all about microclimate. As the trees get up and fill in, they give you more protection through the colder months.
This Grevillea sylvia is my favourite pink, I think.
It's a lovely one, isn't it? Yeah, named after the Queen of Sweden, they tell me. This is the Bossaria. When we first moved onto this block, there was heaps of this growing around, and being a real thorny plant, I just thought it was, well, it's called the native blackthorn, and we got rid of it. So I've since found out it's such a good plant for the bird life that I've replanted a lot of it.
Yeah, well, it's great you've let it regenerate because it's one of the indigenous plants of the area. They're the ones that really complete the habitat for all the birds, from the little ones right up to the big showy parrots. Tony says that he's a nurseryman's dream because he buys all of his plants rather than propagating them. So why do you end up buying all your plants, Tony?
Well, I've had a few goes at propagating and I've been an abject failure, so I find it a lot quicker and a lot easier to buy them.
Well, my tip would be to really start with something simple. These everlasting daisies are very showy, but they're also quite short-lived, but really easy to propagate from tip cuttings. So just get these nice sort of fresh new growth and take a few cuttings and come and I'll show you how to do it. First thing is to prepare your cuttings. Now normally I'd look for material without flowers, but we haven't got that, and it really doesn't matter too much with these soft wooded plants. The woody plants like grevilleas, waratahs, that sort of thing, you won't get away with this, but these ones are really easy to strike, so it's just a matter of removing the foliage from the bottom so you can get it into the potting mix. And then it's good to snip a bit of that top foliage off because it reduces the water loss from the cutting.
You've still got a fair bit of foliage on the top, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So the idea is to keep that mixture moist. Is that the idea?
Yeah, you want to give it a good watering first, and then when the cuttings are in like this, so they don't lose too much extra moisture, give them a bit of mist like this.
Right.
Nice sort of soaking.
So how often would you do that?
Oh, well, with this propagation unit, it's got this nice lid on it, and we keep those vents closed. You probably only need to water about once a week. Well, that's a few more plants that Tony can add to his already impressive collection. This garden shows that natives can have texture, depth and colour and be a haven for all kinds of wildlife. And it really means a lot to Tony, that's for sure.
I can't really explain it. I suppose it's just something that you could almost say I'm addicted to it. something I like doing. If I've got to spend a day somewhere else, not in the garden, I do miss it. And first thing I want to do when I get home is walk around and have a look. And yeah, just enjoy it. I just enjoy it so much.